What's up, BJJ fans? And of course the BJJ stands for Blind Judo Journey. I went to my first World Championships and spoiler warning, I got bronze.
The first of the bronze medals goes to Miles Solomon of Great Britain.
Now this is obviously a massive achievement for me. I'll say how proud I am, etc. later, but right now I want us to talk all about the judo. So, going into my first fight, this is Sifki. He is Turkish. I have fought him once before in Germany last year. I won. So I threw him with Tomonagi last time. So going into the fight, I knew what throws I was going to try and hit. It was going to be a lot of Tomonagi, it was going to be Ouchigari, and it was going to be Makikomi. Those I thought were going to be my main three throws because of the stance that he does. So I was a little bit disappointed when quite early on in the fight, I got a Yuko scored against me when I went for a drop Kataguruma that he took control of. Whether you want to argue whether he actually scored or not is your opinion. Take a look. Either way, it was a bit demoralising, but I wasn't too persuaded because straight after, I managed to come back getting a Yuko on the board with an Ouchigari that I was really happy with. That was a good combination, trying to set myself up for another throw, but then he stepped onto my Ouchigari and managed to turn it into a Yuko. A bit disappointed that I didn't manage to get a higher score with it. However, I was noticing that as I come in and I kick that front foot, so going for that Ouchigari, I was really opening myself up to enter into that space. I then took that opportunity a bit later to get a Wazari with the Makikomi. I thought it was Ippon. I was told that it was continued movement though, so that was why it wasn't Ippon, it was Wazari. But still, I'm now Yuko and Wazari to a Yuko. Really happy with myself at this point. I'm also realizing that I'm not getting too tired. As you get further into fights, obviously we all get tired, but I was realizing that I had quite a good, engine on me, whereas a lot of my opponents throughout the day kind of did start gassing, and when people are Wazari down in the last couple of minutes of a fight, they start getting frantic, they start doing weird stuff. For example, he was going for Makikomis that just weren't really working. There was one that he went for that nearly caught me, but I managed to block it and transition to Newaza. However, in all of the Newaza exchanges I had in this fight, he just kept picking me up. Every single time, because he's so short and so dense, he's able to just deadlift me. When he's in my guard, he can just get his feet, he can stand up, it's impossible to kick his legs out. I was really trying. There was times when I was trying to go for the Juji and he's just standing up underneath me. I was trying to kick his legs out from under him and I just wasn't able to keep him down because he's so able to curl into a ball and then just explode up. But once we were about 30 seconds left from the end of the fight, he starts coming towards me. A big thing from my whole day is I was pulling people towards me the whole time, and eventually after 4 minutes, people start getting tired, their hands start getting tired, and they start coming onto me. At that point, he dives in for a Ouchigari. I step off that Ouchigari and go for the Tomonagi. Straight Ippon. So happy. One of my first fight at the World Championships. My coach did say, when you're a Wazari up and you've got 30 seconds left in the fight, maybe a risky Tomonagi isn't the right throw to go for. It was the right throw that time, but maybe it won't be next time, which is a fair point. So it was a bit of a risk, but sometimes risks pay off, and I was very, very happy with myself for finishing this match against Sifki the same way I did last time with that Tomonagi. This puts me through to the quarterfinal, where I will be fighting the Paralympic champion, Sato from Japan. For all those who remember what happened to me last time I fought a Paralympic champion, it wasn't great.
They grip up, the referee calls Hajime. We've had half a minute. Attempted Ashiwaza. Solomon just stumbled momentarily. You may have to tap here. This is an attempted shimiwaza. Okuri Erijimi. And he gets caught, just hung on there for a little bit too long. The referee just taking care of Miles Solomon, but a little bit more embarrassed than anything. He's fine. Yeah.
Going into the fight, the main thing I knew he was going to be able to be good at is his drop Morote Sinagi. He's known for it. He threw with it in the Paralympic final. So my goal is to mess up this guy's day, okay? Be a spanner in the works. I think I managed to achieve my goal of not being thrown Morote. When he goes for Morote in the first exchange, I was defending that Morote so well, so much that I know, and he's keeping the pressure on my sleeve. If I keep this across, I keep a lot of tension in my elbow here, that when he goes for it, too much pressure goes through his fingers, he has to let go, and he doesn't actually manage to throw him with that Morote. On the ground, I did manage to defend decently well. He was pretty aggressive on the ground, but I did manage to keep that half guard, and then when he was trying to pass it, I managed to escape. In the second exchange, I dive in for a Kuchi Gak. However, I don't manage to create the right Kazushi, hook myself around his leg, and he does a beautiful piece of Keishiwaza, counters me, puts me flat on my back, straight up on it. It was just perfect judo, to be fair. Coming away from that fight, obviously I'm disappointed. I've just lost, but if you losing to the Paralympic champion isn't the worst thing in the world, especially when he did some good judo and I didn't feel completely outmatched. Okay, this wasn't like oh my god, I couldn't do anything. He beat me on this time. This drops me down into the Repechage, where I'm now trying to come second in my group because Setup has won my group. I now have to fight Kim from Korea. He is a guy who's moved up from 60 kilos. So as a reminder, I fight 70 kilos. The weight category has changed. I used to fight 73s, now I fight 70s. But people who used to fight 60s have had to move up to 70s. I'll talk about the weight cut a bit later, but people who've been long followers of my channel know that I do have to make weight and I do have to put a lot of work into doing that, which means I'm quite large for 70 kilos. Going into the fight, this guy is an extreme righty. He's trying to hit his Uchimata, okay? My coach said to me, you will be stronger than him. We had a game plan going into this match, and that game plan was Kataguruma, okay? Kataguruma to the front leg, going to the left side, okay? So right on right Kataguruma. Something I really like, and it's become more and more part of my game. But against extreme righties, because they're dragging you onto that hip, behind their front leg, they're very weak. So those Katagurumas are, a good attack from that position. So in the fight, I managed to hit my Kataguruma. You'll see me going for loads of different attempts for it, but I eventually managed to hit it for a Yuko early on. And then managing to hit it for Wazari later in the fight. There was one little bit of this fight where I was a little bit like, oh gosh, am I a little bit off balance? He goes in for Zuchimata. It was the one time any of his attacks really started to land, but I managed to block it. I managed to get myself out of it. This was the longest fight of the day. It ended up going for 4 minutes. My coach was telling me he is getting tired. Near the end, he started taking his right hand off my lapel because I'm putting so much pressure through his lapel hand because I'm so much stronger than him that he's just not able to make his judo work. He's not able to make that Uchimata work. He's not able to have me dragged onto his hip. So at that point, I started just again, still trying to pull him onto me, We have a game plan for when that happens as well. But realistically, I'm trying to get to the ground. I'm just trying to slow this match down. There's a little bit left. I managed to lock him up into my half guard quite late on and then just stall out the rest of the match. Yes! Managing to win my second fight of the World Championships, beating someone who's a good player, who's moved up to 60, demonstrating that, you know, it's worth me putting all the effort in to get to 70 kilos, but managing to win that fight. This puts me through to the Repechage final. I'm going up against Chang from Chinese Taipei. He's a very similar fighter to the Korean. He's an extreme righty, trying to pull me on for that Uchimata the whole time. I know that we've got that game plan. It worked in the last fight, that Kazakhstan. It's basically the exact same game plan going into this fight. So I managed to go into the fight and I pretty dominated through most of it. Managed to hit my Kazakhstan on him for Wazari pretty early on in the fight. Could have been Ippon, could have been Wazari, but it was a good attack, good score. Later on, we go to the ground again. He ends up in my half guard. I manage to re-guard, getting both legs around his waist, and then he makes a massive error where he brings his elbow across him and he breaks his own posture. He comes down towards me. I push the elbow across. Once he's there, I know I have a million different attacks. I pull him in, grab my own sleeve. Apparently you can't see this on the footage, so I'm demonstrating. You grab my own sleeve, and I bring that across the side of his face, and I create that little noose until he taps. Boom, puts me in the bronze medal match at the World Championships. How did I get here? I can't believe it. I've already shown you how, but now bronze medal match. Going into it, I'm against Karava. Karava, the guy who beat me in Georgia in the bronze medal match in my last competition from Ukraine.
And he's got it again. He's got the neck. He has the neck there. Yes, he gets the submission.
It's a pretty intimidating fight going into it. I'm actually just going to show you the whole of the fight here because it was a pretty short fight.
Oh, it's unfortunate. David Korava of Ukraine is unable to take part. Miles Solomon is able to give it large. He's very happy, isn't he? He celebrated.
And he didn't turn up! Obviously, Karava was injured. I hope he's okay. How did he get injured? How did he get here? Let's take a look actually at his semi-final that was very quick. Yep, 1 second. I think he went into that having already got an injury earlier in the day, and he bowed out immediately, realizing that he wasn't going to be able to fight through the injury. I hope he feels better in the future. I actually went into the bronze medal match knowing that I had already won, knowing that he'd gone. I was expecting to, still warm up, still do all of that. We were expecting to still make sure that I was ready in case anything happened, in case he didn't pull out or whatever. And then we saw him get on the bus back to the hotel. We actually asked him, like, are you done for the day? And he went, yeah, I'm done. It's a very weird feeling going into a bronze medal match, knowing you've already won. Normally in the tunnel, I'm absolutely stressing. I'm thinking about how my game plan is going to work, what I'm going to do, this fight's happened before, etc., that kind of thing. But going in, knowing you've already won, around you is all the people who are going into fights that are going to be really hard, and I know I've already won a bronze medal at the World Championships, which is mental. Like, my first World Championships, I've just won a medal at my first World Championships. I've done judo for 6.5 years, okay? 6.5 years, and I've managed to, and 2 of those were the pandemic. I didn't train for 2 years. Managing to go from, 2 years ago when I started this channel, almost exactly 2 years ago, when I was supposed to go to the European Championships, but then that didn't end up happening. And then I ended up going to Azerbaijan, got destroyed, as I showed you earlier. But coming away now, 2 years later, with a world bronze medal, like, it's pretty good. I think that the main thing that I came away saying is now when people see Solomon in their group, in their draw, they're not happy anymore. I'm no longer just a newbie who's coming out of nowhere. Now I'm just a bit more established. People have seen me. I've got a medal at the World Championships. The first thing I thought after winning this is, how do I get gold? How do I get gold? What do I have to do to get gold? And how do I translate this not only into a medal at the World Championships, but into a medal at the Paralympics and beyond? Let's quickly talk about why I managed to get this medal at the World Championships when maybe at other Grand Prix I wasn't able to medal, like in Georgia. I did the weight cut really well. Really, really well. My weight was probably only about half a kilo lower than in Georgia, but I like going into it. However, my nutrition in the week running up was perfect. When we arrived, we had more time. It was the World Championships, so we went a day earlier, got extra time in Kazakhstan, got extra training time. It was a really good sauna. I was just in a really good mood. To be fair, I felt excellent. I woke up at weight the day of competition, and I was feeling absolutely excellent until about 3 hours before, when I really, really wanted some food. But 3 hours of torture is not as bad as any other competition I had to go to. So to be honest, it was definitely my best weight cut I've ever done. Managed to rehydrate super effectively because I was seeded at this. I was going in seeded, which meant that I got a bye in the first round. So I wasn't on till like 11:30, and random weigh-in came out at 7:30. So I got like 4 hours to be able to rehydrate, get myself feeling fighting fit. I was fighting my coaches earlier that day because obviously the people on the team were all a big different size. You know, you've got me at 70 kilos, Evan's much bigger than me, Dan's way bigger than me, Jack's way bigger than me. So I struggle, to have good warm-up partners, but Chris Barry, one of the coaches, the guy who sat in the chair for me all of the day, is similar size to me, and he's very, very good at judo. So he's an excellent warm-up partner, and I was throwing that category because we knew who my opponents might be. I was throwing that category on him, throwing those Kuchi gags, etc. And he said to me afterwards that him and Johnsy were saying, yeah, he's going to do some damage today. He's going to do some damage. And I think I really, really, really did. So thanks to the whole team. I'll do the thank yous now. So I won a bronze medal at the World Championships. So a huge thank you to all of my coaches, Chris Barry, Ian Johns. Huge thanks to all of the team when we were out there. Massive thank you to everyone at Oxford Judo for helping me, introducing me to judo and helping me get this good so that I was able to get a medal at the World Championships. Huge thank you to everyone from Fortified Jiu-Jitsu for making me an absolute killer on the ground. Thank you to Monkey for being a brilliant coach, getting me into BJJ, making me love it, making me a force to be reckoned with on the ground. Thank you so much to all of my training partners, to everyone I've ever trained with, to any coaches at other clubs. Thank you so much to all my subscribers, because without you guys, I feel like this really gives me an outlet to record my thoughts, make me want to be a better judoka. If you want to follow, share, click that button right there, then please. It's so amazing to have all these other people follow me and taking part in my journey. A huge thank you as well to my parents, to my mum packing my lunch for every single competition and helping me do all of the laundry for the many kits I own. A huge thank you to my dad for driving me across the world and setting up the camera. He's stood behind the camera. Say hi, Dad.
Hi.
Thank you to him and to my parents for getting me where I am and hopefully getting me even further and getting me to my Paralympic dream. Where do we go next from here? Going to a competition in Egypt that's a Grand Prix, going to the Europeans in September, my first Europeans. I really, really, really hope I can get a medal at Europeans because I will be fighting on my birthday. That's going to be an intense one. I'm going to be very annoyed if I don't, and very happy if I do get a medal at Europeans, but realistically now, I think it is definitely doable. I'm going to try and get more and more of these, more and more. I want to be the best, okay? I now want to be the guy on top of that podium. How do I get there? People keep asking me, do you want to be the next Chris Skelly? Do you want to be the next Dan Powell? And those are obviously excellent role models. Skelly being, Britain's first Paralympic champion, Dan being the first person in Britain to ever wear a red backpack from winning the World Championships in Kazakhstan. I do say I don't want to be the next one of those. I want to be the first Miles Solomon. Okay, I want to do this my way, and I'm going to do it really, really well, really effectively in the way that I believe is how to do judo, how to become a professional athlete. I think it's excellent I'm able to document my journey from being an unprofessional, unknowledgeable person, going to competitions with not knowing about how to good nutrition, not knowing about S&C, not knowing about etiquette at competitions, all this kind of thing, and I'm building up, and I'm now getting to the point where, you know, I get to wear the red kit, I get to call myself a member of like the British Judo Paralympic squad, the VI squad, like, and hopefully be a bit of a role model to other people out there who are watching. Reminder, you can do this. Go and watch all my videos about how you can become, you know, a better judoka. I've got loads of tutorials that are designed for people of all levels. If you got this far into the video, that probably means that you appreciate the content I make and you like following my journey. You'll notice I made a buy me a coffee link that's in the description of this video and in my channel bio. That's just for giving any donation that you can towards the channel, okay? I don't make any money through the channel at the moment, and particularly, my dad does all my editing, and it would be very nice if I could buy him a coffee every now and then as payment, as thanks for all of the time that he puts into this, and to all the other people around me. It would be really nice if I could do that for those guys helping with the channel. If you, like I say, if you do like my content, then just drop in anything that you can, and that would be a really great way of you helping support my journey and also help support Blind Judo Journey, the channel, and help get our message out here. I think with that, if you want to follow me on my blind judo journey into international visually impaired judo, let's see if we can make this gold, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I got a medal at the World Championships! Sorry, Mate.